Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news. The NFL offseason is always buzzing, but this year, the rumors swirling around the Chicago Bears are particularly electrifying. Word on the street, according to sources like Diana Rossini and insiders close to the team, is that Chicago is deep in negotiations to acquire Nico Collins from the Houston Texans. And let me tell you, if this trade goes through, it could be a total game-changer for the Bears' offense and honestly their entire trajectory moving forward. It's one of those moves that could elevate the team from decent to dangerous, especially in the passing game, which has been a point of focus for Chicago over the past season. Now I know what you're thinking. Nico Collins? Isn't he just another guy? Well, not exactly. Collins, at 26 years old, is a big-bodied wide receiver who has been quietly building a solid resume in Houston. His career stats include over 800 receiving yards and 22 touchdowns, with an average of about 95 yards per game. That's pretty impressive. He's a player capable of making contested catches, something the Bears have desperately needed since Darnell Mooney and others have struggled with consistency. His contested catch rate is around 55%, which might not sound like a lot at first, but in today's NFL, that's a huge asset. Think about it. When the Bears need someone reliable to go up and grab those tight, game-changing catches in clutch moments, Collins could be that guy. His yards per route run at 2.2 and a PFF grade near 91 speak volumes about his ability to get open and produce when it counts. What makes this move even more enticing for Bears fans is how Collins could complement the existing roster. Chicago's passing game last season was decent, but lacked that extra spark, an X-factor to stretch the field and make defenses respect the deep ball. Collins, with his size and route running, could do just that. His average of over 83 yards per game in 2025, combined with a 10-touchdown tally, shows his consistency and ability to perform throughout the season. Plus, his YAC, yards after catch, of 412 yards and EPA per target of plus 0.40 indicate that he's not just a big body. He's a playmaker who can turn short catches into long gains. And it's worth noting that he's been remarkably healthy, missing only a hamstring injury in 2024 that cost him a couple of games, but overall maintaining good durability. Now, why would the Texans be willing to trade Collins? Well, Houston is in a bit of a rebuild after finishing 7-10 last season. They've got some cap space, about $12 million, and are looking to free up even more to build around their young core. The rumor is that the Texans are open to trading Collins for a first-round pick in 2027 and a third-rounder, which is a steep price but one that speaks to how highly they value him. Houston's offense stalled last year, averaging just 210 yards per game, and while they have some pieces in place, they're focusing on developing their defense and future assets. Trading Collins would free up around $14 million in cap space, allowing them to extend other players like Diggs or draft new talent. It's a bold move, but one that makes sense if they're committed to a longer-term rebuild. For the Bears, acquiring Collins isn't just about adding a talented receiver. It's about reshaping the entire offense. Chicago's passing yardage last season hovered around 205 yards per game, ranking near the bottom of the league. Adding a target like Collins could boost that significantly, especially in contested catch situations, where he's proven to be 20% more effective than the Bears' current WR3, Darnell Mooney. Imagine the possibilities: more red zone opportunities, more deep targets, and a receiver who can win those tight battles on the sideline or in the end zone. His red zone efficiency would likely see a noticeable uptick, giving quarterback Justin Fields more reliable options to turn to when the game's on the line. And speaking of Fields, having a receiver like Collins could open up the entire offense. His ability to stretch the field, deep targets are up by 18%, would force defenses to respect the deep ball, potentially creating more space underneath for guys like DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney. This kind of vertical threat is exactly what the Bears need to take that next step and become a more explosive offense. maybe even help boost their passing touchdowns by around 15%, similar to what DK Metcalf did for the Seahawks in 2022, elevating their aerial attack by over 200 yards in a single season. That's the kind of impact Chicago fans are dreaming about, especially with a young quarterback like Fields who thrives on big plays and improvisation. Now, let's talk about the potential impact on the NFL playoff picture. If the Bears do manage to land Collins, the odds of making a deep playoff run could significantly improve. Right now, the Super Bowl odds for Chicago sit at around +4-0, which isn't terrible but leaves a lot of room for improvement. Adding Collins could bump those odds up to +2-0, giving the Bears a real shot at sneaking into the postseason and making some noise. Think about it. Big plays in the playoffs, contested catches in critical moments, and that X factor that makes defenses second-guess themselves. Similar to the role Mike Evans played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020, Collins could be the key pivot that takes the Bears from just a good team to a legitimate contender. His presence would create mismatches and open opportunities for Fields to connect on those big, game-changing throws, especially in high-pressure moments. Of course, the trade isn't just about upgrading the roster. It's about setting a new tone and signaling the Bears' intention to compete now. The team is in a pivotal phase, and bringing in a player like Collins shows that they're serious about contending in the NFC North. With the Vikings and Lions both making moves and improving, Chicago needs to respond with boldness. Adding a young, talented receiver with Collins' profile means more than just one player. It's about elevating the entire offense, creating more scoring opportunities, and building a team that can compete in the postseason. Some might be skeptical, thinking Houston might prefer to hold on to Collins or that the price tag is too high. But from the Bears' perspective, this is a strategic move, targeting a player who fits their timeline and needs perfectly. It's a calculated risk, but one that could pay off big time if Collins can replicate or even surpass his previous production in Chicago. The Bears are looking at a future where their passing game becomes more dynamic, unpredictable, and explosive, giving Fields more weapons and confidence to take shots downfield. This trade, if it materializes, could be a cornerstone in their quest to be serious contenders again. And let's not forget, the NFL offseason is always unpredictable. Rumors are swirling, and sometimes the boldest moves are the ones that define a franchise's future. The Bears have been building through the draft and free agency, but adding a player like Collins would be a statement move, one that says, "We're here to win now, and we're willing to make bold moves to get there." Fans should be excited because this could be the start of something special. A new chapter in Chicago Bears history, marked by aggressive moves and a clear vision of returning to greatness. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, if the Bears manage to pull this off, there's a lot to be optimistic about. They'd be stacking their offense with a proven young talent who can elevate their game in critical moments. The NFL is all about matchups, and having Collins on the roster would give Chicago a new dimension, more contested catches, more deep threats, and a receiver who can make defenses pay for focusing too much on other targets. It's a win-win situation, and most importantly, it's a move that signals to the rest of the league that the Bears aren't just content to rebuild, they want to contend. Of course, the Texans play their own game, and they might be holding out for even more or decide to keep Collins if the price isn't right. But if the trade goes through, Bears fans should be ready for a new level of excitement. Collins' addition, coupled with the promising development of Fields and the team's overall roster, could mark the beginning of a new era, one where the Bears are not just trying to be competitive but are actual contenders, fighting for a deep playoff run and ultimately a Super Bowl appearance. This is the kind of move that could reshape the division, shake up the NFC, and reestablish the Bears as a team to watch. It's a bold step, but one that could set the foundation for years of success. Everyone's eyes will be on Chicago this offseason, waiting to see if this blockbuster happens. If it does, you can bet that the energy around Hollis Hall and Soldier Field will be electric. Fans, get ready, because this could be the move that turns the tide and helps bring Super Bowl glory back to the Windy City. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.